So, good day everyone. I am Kathleen Me Chavez, currently a second-year student at Binar Pangandaman Integrated College, taking up Bachelor in Elementary Education. So today, I am going to discuss a lesson from Grade 6 Science, which is the techniques in separating mixtures. But before that, here are the objectives. After going through this lesson, you are expected to identify physical ways to separate solid from solid mixtures, less dense liquid from a denser liquid, and insoluble solid from liquid mixtures. Explain how separating mixtures through hand picking, sieving, using a magnet, decantation, and filtration. And demonstrate ways of separating mixtures through hand picking, sieving, using a magnet, decantation, and filtration. And lastly, observe precautionary measures and proper procedures while doing the activities. So the components of mixtures can be separated into different parts by physical means. We use different methods to separate the different components of the solid from solid mixtures, less dense liquid from a denser one, and insoluble solid from liquid mixtures, either through bare hand, through the use of sieve, through the use of magnet, or simply pouring the liquid and leaving the less dense liquid at the bottom of the container. So here are the 5 kinds of techniques in separating mixtures. First, we have the hand picking. Hand picking is a technique used in separating solid components of a heterogeneous mixture. When we see solid components, it's all about solid, like the seeds, the nuts, or others. So the components of a mixture should be big enough to be seen and picked by hands or forceps. So when you separate sands and seeds from the milled rice, okay, you use your bare hands. You separated the components through physical manipulation. So as you can see in the image, we have here the mixed seeds. We have the seeds of different kinds of flowers like sunflower and many more. So as you can see, the mixture of this material is like you can see the seeds of the sunflower. You can pick it up using your hands because it is big enough. So next we have here the mixture of the spaghetti. What are the components of the spaghetti? Okay, we have the pasta, the meatballs, and others. Of course, sometimes you can add hot dogs. So because the slices or the cuttings of the components of the spaghetti is big, we can pick it up. That's why we use hand picking. We can use hand picking for getting the meatballs and put in our mouth. So that is the one example of hand picking. So next we have the mixed nuts. Okay, the cashew seeds, we can easily pick it up. As you can see, all the nuts there are big enough that we can use our hands and put in our mouth as a snacks. One of the best example also is if we eat the junk foods like ding dong or halo halo. There are different kinds of components inside that junk foods, and we use our hands to eat it. Okay, next we have the use of magnets. As you can see in the image, of course, we have the magnets and the nails. The nails is the metals. So the use of magnets is that the mixtures of metals and non-metal could be separated using magnets. Metals are attracted to magnets while non-metals are not. Okay, if you put the nails on the ground, you can get it by using the magnet, but the non-metals or the soil will leave behind because the magnet will not attract it. Okay, next we have the paper clips also. Paper clips, when you put it with rice or with the paper and you get it by using the magnet, only the paper clips will be attracted to the magnet and the paper will be left behind. So that is one of the best example. Also in the big company like the junk shops or the junkyards, they use big magnets to collect all those metal things. Next, we have here the sieving. Okay, sieving, it is the mixtures with big and fine components can be separated by sieving. Like we use in our flour, we sift it by using the strainer. It involves using a strainer or a big screen to separate the components of solid mixtures. Like the sand and the gravel. If we build a home or a house, as we finish it, or like we call finishing, we use the big screen to separate the fine sand with the gravel. Okay, here is the image. Like we usually do if we finish our buildings. Next, we have the decantation. It is a technique used in separating a less dense substance from a denser one. So it involves letting the mixture settle for a while. If you in a glass, you pour water and then add an oil. So the oil will goes at the top and the water will be on the bottom. Because the heavier insoluble substances will settle at the bottom of the liquid. A clear liquid may leave at the top. Once it is taken out, you have decanted the liquid, leaving impure substance behind. Decantation is somewhat easier, okay? You just get that oil and then you decantate that component. Because the oil goes to the top and the water left in the bottom. Okay, lastly we have the filtration. It is a technique in which an insoluble solid is separated from liquid. It uses a filter like a mesh cloth or a filter paper to separate solid components from liquid. So one of the example here is the water and the sand. So you will use a cloth as a strainer or maybe a filter paper just to get the water and leave the sand behind. Okay, so today I will give you a quiz. You can pause this video so that you can read and understand the questions clearly. So okay, I will give you the time to answer it. So next, as your assignment, I will give you an activity. Select only one example from the 5 techniques in separating mixtures and make a video while you perform that technique. So if you want a hand picking, as you can see in the image before, you can use it like the mixed nuts video yourself, like you pick it and you eat it. So we have the rubrics, clarity, 40%, idea or the creativity, 40%, effort and material used, 20%, with a total of 100%. So that's all. Thank you and good luck everyone.